Hello, this should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aquarius? Let's get all the cards out before we go too crazy here. It's a lot. That's okay. Okay. It's good. There is some conflict around this situation, just to, like, somebody else has to work something out. That's it? What we can do? Oh. Transformation showing up. You've been waiting for something, and I feel like it's about the quality. Whatever you've been waiting for, it's not just like, I don't know, it's not like just anyone will do. It's kind of like if you want a car, it's like, I don't want one that'll just get me down the road. I want one that'll hold everybody I need to bring with me safely, and I want to enjoy the ride. Okay. It's simple to start. Can we get like a little bit more? I feel like I have not had luck with this. Okay. It's not the first, so if we're going to use the car analogy, it could be anything. There's the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups coming forward, just to be fair. So there is that coming forward. It doesn't have to be romance, but it could. It's one of those things where I've tried before. It's not like it's the first time I bought a car. It's just, it's almost like every time I get one, it just never really works out. It's like it's either too small or, you know, it doesn't hold up like it needs to. You know, something. It's always something that just, or like where I need to park it, it's too big, or, you know, it's too big for the spot I need to park it in. It just never really works out. It's just the car as an analogy, you know. It just never really works out. And it's like, I can't keep what I need. And like, for maybe you live in a city, for example, and it's like finding a place to park it is a challenge and a half. And then when I do use it, it's bedlam. So it just seems like I wanted to do this, but it just never, at least it doesn't seem like up to this point, it's really clicked in the way I really need it to. And then all of a sudden, I'm not even paying attention is what I get. Something comes forward really fast. Ace of Cups, poof, right there. Boom, right there. And it's kind of like, all right, okay. It's kind of like, it happens so fast, I feel like I'm shell-shocked. And I'm like, all right, well, there's going to be something screwed up with this, but let's go for it. I don't know. Is that Aquarius? Am I wrong? Like, all right, I mean, it's here. I'm not thinking it's perfect, but here we go. I guess here we go. And it's kind of like, oh, I feel like I do see a couple things that I don't like off the bat. But the question mark is, the parts that don't work, can they be updated, and or can other things be adjusted to make this actually more to my liking? Possibilities here. There's a lot of possibilities. It's kind of like I've been waiting for something to come my way. I've been feeling on the outside, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's right there. I feel like I'm a little shell-shocked. I'm just like, oh, this seems like it's in the realm of too good to be true. Or as like my mom used to say, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And it's kind of like that playing in the background there. Kind of like, oh, well, here we go. I feel like it's kind of like, here we go. And I almost feel like a little creeped out by it a little. I don't know why. Why do I feel a little creeped out by it? Page of Wands. And the Hierophant, but the Hierophant comes in like this. The Page of Wands was here too. This is showing me that you're the one kind of just going with it, going with the flow as it shows up. I don't feel like you're making giant decisions. You're just kind of like, I need to do this, I'll do that. I need to do this, I'll do that. I'm just kind of flowing with where it seems like it's naturally going to go anyway. I don't see you really wanting to change anything or make it your own at this point. For whatever reason. And I keep looking at it like, I don't know what's going on with this, but I don't expect it to last. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to take the lead about this. I'm not going to try to make it what I want it when it just seems like it's not going to last. Why put in all the effort if it's not going to stick? I'll enjoy it while it's here, but I'm not expecting a lot from it. Seemed fine. I don't see this being like bad. So I don't know. Well, you know, I don't see that like being a bad thing. Like I'm not getting a negative feel for it. And, you know, every now and then I do get the urge to try to go a little farther, but I feel like maybe you do. Maybe you do jump ahead because you just can't help yourself every now and then. And then it's like, oh, I feel like I have this drawback, like, oh, should I have done that? Judgment is in your favor. There's something here that can make this go a lot better. I find this very interesting. Your energy is out there. Especially when I see judgment in your favor, I see a lot of fire. Not a lot, but like you're kind of just going with it and you're convincing yourself, don't go too far too fast. Don't go too far too fast. Don't get too crazy with this. I keep getting that energy. Judgment can go even better in your favor. This is funny to me. I don't know. I just keep looking at it. This is showing up, but what's coming right after it, that's the funny part. Because it's like, I know what I need to do. I know I got a choice to make. The choice I'm going to make is, you could just go randomly and just kind of like have fun with it and play with it and just see what it does. You could play with it. This isn't going to really help you get where you want to be, but you could play with it. It's alluring. It's enticing. It's like, oh, I just kind of want to play with it. Maybe I'll just play with it and just see what happens. I'll just, you know, you have that natural energy where you can kind of, you know, get some fun energy out there and find out what it's really made of. You could play with it. I feel like you know what I mean more than I know what I mean, ironically. That's an option. I don't know if it's the best option, but it's an option. This might lead down that familiar road. Because there's random energy here where I could just kind of like jump in and out, play with it, see what it's really made of, try to, you know, do this, do that, and just enjoy it to the fullest for what I want it. Which seems to make sense why you do that, but I don't get that this is going to give you the outcome you're looking for, ultimately. The other option here, this is interesting. I'm still looking at this. This is what I was talking about. Make that commitment to slow it down and get the other side doing the work, which doesn't have to be physical labor, but get them to show you what they're made of without you prompting anything. Okay. Without you prompting. Like, just kind of like having a peaceful moment. Hey, I just like hanging around you. It's a good day. What's going on? What are you doing? What choice did you make with that? Like, you can talk without actually moving things forward. You know how to do this. Aquarius is a very skilled communicator, in my opinion. So you can communicate without actually pushing things forward. You can ask those questions, get them talking, and get them telling you what they've been doing and what they want to do. Commitment to the piece. Slow it down. Make it boring for a minute. Ironically, it won't be boring for you because you'll get a lot of information that you're looking for. So I feel like that's an oxymoron when I said make it boring for you, because you won't make it boring. But it'll seem, it's like the situation's actually not doing anything. It's kind of like, instead of going out in the town, we're just going to sit on the porch and have some lemonade. And you're just going to keep this person talking. And it may seem boring to the outside world, but you're very entertained getting the information you need, because you're not leading the conversation forward. You're just leading it in the sense of like keeping it going and getting them to tell you things. So how is this different from what you would normally do? I just keep getting like, I'm getting them talking. I'm getting them to tell me what they want. I'm not putting out those questions like, you know, if somebody made a cake, I'm like, oh, did you put coffee in it? I'm not doing that. I'm more going like you made a cake. What inspired that? Like, that's different. I feel like instead of like giving ideas like what you would have put in it or how you would like to see it go, you're kind of just like finding out what built it, what got it there. How often do you make cakes? Where did you learn to make cakes? Very boring questions for an Aquarius is what I'm getting. I think that's where the word boring is coming in. Because you have an easy way of making a conversation very enticing and very interesting by the way you ask a question. And you can also do it in a very boring, and I feel like it's saying the way you would feel like that's a boring question. Why did you start baking cakes? What cake is your favorite to bake? What was your favorite cake as a kid? Boring questions. I feel like these are boring questions, but also will give you a lot of insight. And like, I just feel like I'm putting in little questions here and there just to keep it moving, and I'm just trying to get this person to talk to me because I want to know what they're doing without my influence. Boring questions. That's that Hanged Man. I feel like boring questions. You're going to find out a lot of what the conflicts are with this person. It's going to bring the energy way down, and you're going to find out what the actual conflicts are here. I feel like this is what I need. I don't want somebody to show me the pretty picture. It's kind of like when you first get to know somebody, when they do the best foot forward, which is nice. Niceties are good. But it's kind of like when you found out what they're really made of, what's really going on in their life, that part starts clicking in. I feel like we're fast forwarding that. We're fast forwarding that. And we're finding out what they're really good at, where they really stand, how they really handle things, how much self-motivation they have, how much self-motivation maybe they lack, depending on the situation. Finding out a lot of information here. This slows it down a lot. It's like the boring questions. I hope I'm saying it right. Because I feel like for the people this is going to make sense to, you're going to be like, yeah, I know how to do that. Like, I feel like you're going to know. Instead of like keeping it moving and keeping it physically going places, I'm just like putting it into Boringville and getting a lot of good information and deciding, wait a minute, this is how that works. Oh, if that's how they naturally are, and I feel like I've had this conversation with people before. I don't know why I'm going to go there, but I guess I am. Sometimes when I see the astrology match up, and I'm like, they have this trait. Like some people, they're not going to change very quick. It's not really something you can really peacefully do something with. You don't got anything. It would probably be helpful to see that that's a natural trait for them. And the more you try to push against that, the more volatile that's going to become. That's going to be a very difficult thing to handle. And it's kind of like, it's not really a good or bad thing. It's just like they're a slow mover. That's just who they are. Or some people, like, they need a little inspiration to get moving forward. It doesn't have to be negative, but they need a little inspiration to move forward, and that's maybe their normal place in life. Some signs seem to be like that. Thankfully, we have a whole chart. You don't have just the sun sign. You got a whole list of them. Usually some other things balance out. You can find a better way to move things forward, but still, it's realizing what's naturally there, how things naturally move, and deciding, is this going to work for me or not? And if that's naturally there, instead of getting upset with it, if that's what it would be, is there a way to manage that and get used to managing that a certain way and being at peace with that? Because there's this Page of Pentacles. So if this is an energy you're coming up to, it's ironic because Earth and Air generally don't really hit it off. Earth likes things to be the way they are, and that's that. Air likes to talk about things and try a lot of different things. But if you realize that there's some Earth there, just if there happens to be, and you realize once it gets going, it's very diligent and continuing on the same path over and over and over again, as long as it gets the respect and encouragement and the backup that it needs, and it's, taken care of well, there's a circle here, give and take, as long as that's in play, maybe this is something I can do a lot with. Maybe if I can make peace with this can go very far for me. It's making peace with what's already there, accepting it and going, yes, I will do something, or no, I won't, because that's just not going to work for me. This could bring you to that outcome you've been looking for. And those boring questions are going to show you those boring answers about what is this situation made of? What is this person, if it's a person? How does that run? How does this day-to-day go? What is their natural mode? What is it like? What's their default? What is their default going to be? Do I want that? Do I not want that? if I decide that, okay, that's who they are and I accept that, how will I manage that going forward? And that can bring that Knight of Cups forward, the confidence and that family energy, kind of like, I know this is who they are. It's not really a changeable thing. Like, there's people like this in my life. Like, I don't get mad at certain aspects because I'm just like, they're not doing it to be malicious or difficult. That's just who they are. And for that reason, when I get to the point where I'm at peace with who they are, I'm like, that normally would make me upset when I was younger because I was like, why are they doing that? Why does this have to be so difficult? But when I see it from a different angle, like, that's just naturally who they are. They're not trying to create damage or anything negative. It's just who they are at their core. And realizing it doesn't have to be a good or bad thing. It's just, how do I relate to that? And this is something I can hang with. And that can bring you a lot of stability. That can give you a lot of structure. Knowing how the structure is actually built and how it literally functions on its own can bring a lot to you, bring a lot of value, and put you in a place to where you can manage and make what you want actually happen. Are we there? All right. I'm going to shut that down there. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.